Okay, good morning all of you. Today we are going to discuss signal flow graphs SFG, okay, from unit 1, subject control systems. Okay, now we'll see the basic terms, definitions of SFG. Okay, now let's see signal flow graph representation. Okay, this is the signal flow graph representation. Okay, so we'll discuss here points wise. So we'll give a small introduction about signal flow graph actually. So in the previous class we discussed about block diagram reduction technique, right? So in that we are finding the transfer function of the control systems in the form of blocks. Okay, so number of blocks, we are reducing that blocks into one block, and finally we are finding the transfer function of the given control systems, right? Now this is also same method like block diagram reduction technique. Okay, so SFG also, it is a method which else or which provides the same information like block diagram reduction technique. Okay, here also we are finding the overall gain of the control system in the form of graphical. Okay, so this method will be represents the control system graphically. Okay, so what happened, so by using message gain formula, okay, so SFG contains basically message gain formula. Okay, so by using that formula we can compute the overall gain very easily. See, this is the advantage, this is a major advantage when compared to the block diagram reduction technique. Okay, so we'll see the few points. Okay, I will write here. The signal flow graph is used, the signal flow graph is used to represent the control system graphically. Okay, the first point is what? The signal flow graph is used to represent the control system graphically. Okay, another point, and okay, we will complete this one. It was developed by S.J. Mason. Okay, so we have a formula, S.J. Mason's formula. Okay, with that we can compute overall gain of the control system easily. Okay, the third point. Okay, third point, actually the signal flow graph is a diagram, okay, which represent a set of linear algebraic equations. Okay, so I will write that point also. A signal flow graph I will write short form SFG. Okay, SFG is a diagram that represent a set of simultaneous linear algebraic equations. Okay, and the next point is the major point. Already given information on that. The major point is the signal flow graph approach and the block diagram reduction technique approach will provide the same information. Okay, same information. And what is the difference? Then the representation is different. Okay, so one method is approaching graphically, another method is approaching control systems as a blocks. Okay, that is only difference. And when going to the SFG, we have an advantage. What is the advantage? That by using Mason's gain formula, we can compute the overall gain of the system, control system, easily. Okay, so that's why we are following this one, right? So the next point I can write the signal flow graph, the SFG approach, and the block diagram approach else the same information. Okay, so these both techniques will provide the same information, that is finding the transfer function of the given control systems. One is blocks, another one is a graphical, right? Yes. So what is the advantage? Already given. Advantage is the signal by using signal flow graph method. Okay, we have a Mason's gain formula. Okay, so by using Mason's gain formula, we can compute the overall gain of the system, control system, easily. Okay, so which makes this method is simpler than the block diagram reduction technique. Okay, so we'll write this also. The main advantage, the advantage of SFG method by using Mason's gain formula, we can compute the overall gain of the system easily. Okay, so one of the advantage okay, so one of the advantage of SFG method, by using Mason's gain formula, we can compute the overall gain of the system easily. Okay, so this is another point, right? So are you understand? So what is the difference between SFG and block diagram reduction technique, and what is the uses, okay, advantages of SFG, right? So next, so another point, last point I will write. So so we can say that finally we can say that the SFG is simpler than the block diagram reduction technique. Okay, so SFG is somehow easier to compute overall gain when compared to the block diagram reduction technique. Okay, now we will see terms used in SFG. Now we'll see the terms used in SFG, right? So basic terms, we'll see all basic terms and their definitions, okay, how their representations, right? So the first one is, so I'm taking here, the first one is node, right? So node is what? A node is a point representing a variable or a signal, simply, okay, like this. See, node is representing a variable or a signal, okay. So this is called a node, right? If I represent in other way also, this is a branch, this is outgoing branch, this is incoming branch, and this is a node. Suppose this one I'm representing x or x1, for example, okay. So this is a node, okay. So what is the definition? A node is a point representing a variable or signal, a variable or a signal, simply, okay. So this is the representation of, this is a representation of node, right? Okay, let's see the second point. Second point, okay. Second point will be taken as branch. Now branch. So a branch is a direct line segment which joins two nodes, okay, simply like this. See, I have a node 1 or node x1, say I am naming it node x2, for example, okay. So this is the branch which connects, okay, two nodes or joins two nodes, okay. So I am representing that a branch is directed line segment which joins two nodes, okay. So direction indicates the flow of signal flow, actually, okay. The branch arrow indicates the signal flow of the gain, you can say, simply, right? So what is the definition? A branch is directed line segment joins two nodes, joins two nodes, okay, and the arrow on the branch indicates, the arrow on the branch indicates the direction of the signal flow, okay. And this one, the direction indicates the signal flow, okay. right? Third point, third one we'll see. Okay, transmittance. Okay, next term is transmittance. Okay, the gain acquired by the signal when it travels from one node to other node is called transmittance. Okay, same thing, the gain, you can say indirectly, gain is nothing but a transmittance. Okay, so this one. Okay, so I am writing here G1. Okay, the gain I will define here. The gain acquired by the signal when it travels from one node to another is called transmittance. Okay, this transmittance can be whether real or complex. Okay, simply it is nothing but, you can say another word, gain also. These are the nodes, right? One more point. Okay, and the fourth one we'll see. Fourth term. Okay, input node. See, input node is also called source node, or I'm writing source node. Input node or source node, right? So what is the input node actually? Input node is that it contains only outgoing branches. Okay, input node. So it is a node that has only outgoing branches. Okay, so no incoming branches. For example, this is my SFG. Okay, so I am writing 3 nodes here, 1, 2, x3. Okay, so one branch is moving x1 to x2, another one is moving x2 to x3. Okay, so this is mixed node, I can say, because it contains incoming branches as well as outgoing branches, right? And see here, this is the input branch. Okay, it contains only outgoing branch only. This is outgoing. Suppose this is G1, the gain, and this is G2, right? So input node means it contains only outgoing branch simply. Okay, so this is called input node. Simply this node is called input node. Okay, which has only outgoing branch, no incoming branches, right? So what is the definition? I can say that it is a node that has only outgoing branches. Okay, it is a node that has only outgoing branches, there is no incoming branches. Okay, for example this one. Okay, Next one we'll see. Fifth one. Okay, so same input mean output node we'll see. Same definition almost. Output node means what? For example, if I consider this is node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay, so for example it contains like one branch. Okay, this is another branch. For example, this is another branch, and say this is another branch, right? So see here, I'm naming here x1, x2, x3 are the nodes. Okay, which one is the outgoing output node here? Okay, so this one is the output node here. Okay, output node is nothing but it is a node that has only incoming branches. Okay, so there is no outgoing branch from this x3 node. Okay, so that's why it is a output node. Okay, so I am naming it, this is a output node. Okay, so same definition, output node is nothing but it is a node that has only incoming branches. It is only incoming branches, right? So therefore this is the output node. Basic terms these are all are, right? Next one is, now next one is a mixed node. Okay, mixed node means what? So the node which contains, suppose this x1, x2, x3, x4, these are the four nodes. These are the branches moving one node to other node, for example. Okay, right, then sorry, then mixed node means, can I say this one is a mixed node, this one is a mixed node? Because mixed node nothing but it is a node that has both incoming and outgoing branches simply. Okay, so then they are called in mixed nodes. Okay, so it is a node, I will define, it is a node that has both incoming and outgoing branches. Okay, it is a node that has both incoming and outgoing branches. For example, this one. Okay, any SFG. Okay, so here x2 and x3 are the x2 and x3 are the mixed nodes. Okay, right? Okay, next term we'll see the path. See here, a path is a traversal of connected branches in the direction of branch arrows. Okay, I repeat, a path is a traversal of connected branches in the direction of branch arrows. Okay, for example, I will move upwards. Okay, for example, suppose node 1 2 3 4 5 6, for example. I'm naming it 1 2 3 4 5 6, for example, right? So in this case, this is one branch moving, and this is, for example, another branch is moving, right? And this is another path connecting all nodes. Okay, for example, this is one G1, okay, G1, G2, G3, G4, and this is G5, G6. Okay. A path is a traversal connected branches in the direction of branch arrows. Okay, and one important point is there: path should not be crossed more than one node. A path should not cross a node more than once. Okay, this is important. So I define here: a path is a traversal of connected branches in the direction of branch arrows. Okay, and major point: the path should not cross a node more than once. See here, in this case, how many paths we have? Let us calculate how many paths we have. So path already defined. Path is a traversal of connected branches in the direction of branch arrows. Suppose this is 1 2, I am naming it 1 2. See, this is moving towards up to 6. Okay, can I say this is a path? Okay, and the condition is a path should not cross a node more than once. See, this one is never crossing a node more than once, this particular path. Okay, so can I name it that one as a P1, path 1? Okay, this is a representation. Okay, so we need to take the gain products. Okay, 1 into G1, G2, G3. Okay, so this is the path 1. Still we have any other paths also. See, this is one moving node 2 to node 4, and this one, see here, moving node 4 to node 6. Okay, so this is another path, naming P2. So that one, which one? This is G5, G6. Okay, there is G4, it's not there, right? G5, G6, another path, right? Okay. See, any more paths are there? P3. See, can I say this is also another path? This one, can I say this is also another path? Node 2, node 4, this one, node 4, and G3, this is node 5, and okay, this is, say, gain 1 here, right? Now that one will be G5, G3, G5, G3, and this one is 1, right? Okay, still any more? P4. So see this one, I will change here. This one, see, this is moving, and it will move like this, right? This is another one. So P4, which is nothing but G1, G2, G6. Still anyone? Okay, that's all. So for this particular signal flow graph, we have 4 paths. Okay, we can say 4 paths here. Understood my point? Path is nothing but is a traversal of connected branches, okay, in the direction of branch arrows. Okay, and we have a condition: the path should not cross a node more than once. This is important, right? If we cross a path, if we cross a node more than once, it is not a, we should not call it as a path. Okay, yes. 8th one. Okay, 8th one, open path now. Now open path. Open path means a open path starts at a node and ends at another node. Okay, so open path, it's saying a path starts at a node and terminates or ends at another node is called open path. See, for example, x1, x2, 2 nodes and connecting together with a branch, say G1. Now see here, a path starting from x1 node and terminating or ends at x2. This is called open path. For example, another one, okay, here node 1, node 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so see here, open path is nothing but open path starts at a node and terminates or ends at another node. For example, this one, it will moving like this and terminates at another node. Okay, it will moving directly, and this one moving like this. Okay, exactly. Right, what is the definition then? I will write here. A open path starts at a node and ends at another node. This is important. Simple. Okay, for example, this one starts at node and terminates or ends at another node. Okay, so we'll see 9th one. 9th one, the closed path. Now, what do you mean by closed path? Closed path means closed path starts at a node and terminates at the same node, or I can say closed path starts at a node and ends at the same node, which means, for example, if I take, see here, this is one node, I'm naming it x1. It is starting x1 and terminating or ends at the same node. Okay, so this is gain, for example, say G1, right? So this type of path we can call closed path. Okay, it is also called loop, right? It's like a loop. Starts at the same node and terminating at the same node, right? So what is the definition here? Closed path starts and ends at the same node. This is the example. Okay. Simple. And 10th one. Okay, 10th one, forward path. Now forward path. Forward path means it is a path from an input node to another sorry, forward path means it is a path from an input node to output node that does not cross any node more than once, simply. Okay, so I will write here, it is a path from, okay, it is a path from an input node to an output node, input node to output to that, sorry, that does not cross any node more than once. Okay, it is a path it's a path from, I can say this is from an input node to an output node that does not cross any node more than once. Okay, so for example, I can take any one example. Suppose this is say 1, 2, node 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how many forward paths here we have? See here, this is say 1, again this is G1, G2, G3, G4, right? So forward path means it is a path from input node to output node, simply. See, this is the input node. Okay, so this is my input node, right? And where is the output node? This is one of the output node. Okay, this is one, I can say this is another output node, right? So see here, input node to output node, so I can name it P. Then see here, G1, G2, G3 is one, another two if I take G1, G2, G4, right? Two forward paths we have here. Got my point? Okay, it's clear, right? Okay, this is the previous one is 10th one, so we'll see the 11th one. Now forward path is over, then we'll take forward path gain. Now we'll see the forward path gain. What is it? Okay, forward path gain is nothing but the complete product. Okay, within the forward path, the complete product of the gain is nothing but forward path gain. Or in other words, if I say it is a it is the product of the branch transmittances or gains, you can say, of a forward path simply. Okay, so I can say it is the product of the branch transmittances transmittance is nothing but I can write gains, right? Transmittances of a forward path. Simple. Okay, so already I written over there. Again I will write here. For example, this is node, this is another node, this is another node, this is another node. Okay, so lines are moving like this. Say this is 1, 2, 3, so whatever it is. Okay, 4, 5, right? These are the nodes we have. And see, gain, suppose this is 1, this is G2, G3, G4, for example, this is 1. Now we need to calculate the product of the branch transmittances. So what is the branch transmittance gain? In this case we have, if I take first forward path, P1 is equal to, the gain is what? 1. Suppose say this is a P1, sorry, okay, right. Suppose this is a P1. If I consider this path is a P1 path, then 1, I not written here, we have, there is no G1 I think, right? So I can name it G1. Now G1 G4, okay, simply G1 G4. If I take second path, okay, then suppose say this is my second path, right? G2 G4, okay, G2 G4. If I consider this is my third path, then P3 is equal to only G3, right? This is called forward path gain. Okay, the product you need to calculate. Got my point? Is it okay? Right. Now next, this is 11th I think, so 12th now, 12th, right? Now individual loop. Individual loop. These are all the basic terms which are used in the SFG. Okay, so these all are important, okay, to understand the, to calculate the overall gain of the given control systems. Okay, so you must know these terms. Next, individual loop. Loop, already we discussed. Loop means what? Suppose a branch is starting, or a path is starting at a node, and it will move entire graph, okay, entire part of the graph, and terminates at the same node. Okay, then it is called loop. For example, a small loop, if I take, this is a node 1, can I say this is a loop? Okay, say G1. Can I say this is a loop? This is a node. Okay, yes, of course, right? Or see, 1 2 3, right? Now see, this one is moving directly, node 1 2 3, and it is coming in the reverse, say minus h1, for example. This is g1. Now see, this one is it is a loop from 1 to 2 node. See, a path or a branch is starting at node 1, okay, and it is moving to node 2 and returning to or ends at the node 1 again. Okay, so this is nothing but a individual loop. Okay, individual loop. Individual loop are is generally called self loop. Okay, simply. Right, what is the definition? It is a closed path. It is a closed path starting from a node after passing through a certain part of a graph, arrives at the same node without crossing a node more than once. Right, see here, it is a closed path starting from a node after passing through a certain part of the graph, arrives at the same node without crossing a node more than once. Okay, so that is called individual loop. Okay, so suppose already I given example here. See here, at node 1, okay, a path is started here and terminated the same node. Okay, so this is an individual loop, I can say. See here, it is path is starting here. Second example, path is starting here and it moved to the signal flow graph to another node and returning to the same node. Okay, so this is called individual loop. Okay, more examples we can give, moving multiple nodes also. Individual loop means, see here, same example if I consider 1 2 3. See, nodes 1 2 3 consist of starting here, path is starting here, right, path is starting here and it is moving to node 3 again and set or terminates at node 1. This is an individual loop. Okay, general self loop or individual loop, right? This one is 12. Right, now we will see the 13th one. Okay, loop gain. So loop gain is nothing but, okay, the product of all gains or transmittances of a loop. Okay, if I consider this above one example, node 1 2 and 3, see this, oh sorry, see this one. If I consider this is a loop, suppose this is minus h1, this is 1, say this is g1. The transmittance or gain you can call, right? Their product you need to write individual loop, right? So individual loop is generally we will take as a 1 1, okay, single loop. Second term indicates a single loop, right? So first one in that, so 1 1, which means what? G1 h1 minus. So this is the gain, loop gain it is called, the product, right? So how can we define this one? See here, how can we define this one? It is the product of the branch, it is the product of the branch transmittances. Transmittance is nothing but I can say gains, okay, transmittances gains of a loop, particular loop, okay. So this is nothing but loop gain. Example is this one, okay. Is it okay? Right, I will move to the next term. These terms are very important for the to calculate overall gain, okay, by using Mason's gain formula. These all terms we are using in Mason's gain formula, right? Next is this term is how much? This is 13th one, right? Next is I can say 14th. The next one is non-touching loops. Non-touching loops. Non-touching loops. Non-touching loops is nothing but within a same signal flow graph, okay, we have two loops, okay, but they don't have a common node, simply, okay. That is called non-touching. They are not touching each other, simply, right? So for example, we'll see this is node 1 2 3 4 5, simply simple example I will show. 1 2 3, I'm naming the nodes 5, okay. So this is on forward path which is from input node to output node, okay. I forgot to say the output node also called sync node. If I not given this one, please note down sync node, or it is called output node, okay, and this one is called input node or source node, okay. Input node is nothing but source node or input node basically, and output node also called sync node, okay, or output node generally, right? So in this case we are discussing about non-touching loops. Two individual loops should not touch each other, which means what? Should not touch, should not have a common node, okay. So I'm taking one here, this is okay, this is say minus h1, and another one say this one is minus h2. This is g1, g2, say g3, this is 1, for example, right? See here non-touching loops, okay. In this case, in this signal flow graph we have two loops, right? If I say this is loop 1 p11 and this is p12, individual loops, okay. So second loop this is, right? So p11 p12, these are the individual loops actually, okay. But see this particular loop is connected with node 2 and 3, right? This one is connected with node 3 and 5, okay. So they don't have common node here. Okay, so they don't have any common node here, therefore these are the non-touching loops, right? So we'll see the definition. This one, you write the definition. Okay, if the loops does not have a common node, if the loops does not have a common node, then they are said to be non-touching loops. Okay. If the loops does not have a common node, then they are said to be non-touching loops. Okay, right. Okay, clear. So these are the terms we are using in the SFG, signal flow graph, right? I complete all the terms, I think, right? So no one is left, right? So these terms we are generally using in the SFG, right? So next we are going to very important topic called Mason's gain formula. Mason's gain formula. This is very important. I will conclude here only. Okay. After this class, we will go to the problems so that you can understand better. Right. This is important. Very important. Mason's gain formula. This topic is important, right? So what is the Mason's gain formula? The Mason's gain formula is used to determine the transfer function of the control system using signal flow graph method. Okay, so this is the graphical method. So overall idea is to find the transfer function of a given control system, right? So I will mention that also, so better understand. The Mason's gain formula is used to determine the transfer function of the system, basically control system, from the signal flow graph of the system. Okay. So from here onwards, so Mason's gain formula is used to determine the transfer function of the system from signal flow graph of the system. Okay, so we will see from here. What is that? So I am taking here, let, we already studied that how to find the transfer function, what is the symbolics, right? Symbols used in the transfer function, right? So this is R of S. Let R of S is equal to input of the system okay, and you know C of S is taken as output of the system. Okay, then the transfer function, I can name it as T of S. Transfer function is equal to, what is that? Output by Laplace transform output by input. This is the transfer function, as you know. Okay, so therefore the Mason's gain formula, therefore the Mason's gain formula states the overall gain. Overall gain of the system. Okay, therefore overall gain I am taking as a T is equal to 1 by delta summation of K, this is Pk and delta K. This is important. This is a Mason's gain formula. Okay, so this is the Mason's gain formula where you can write K is equal to 1 to n somewhere, right? Okay, you want my point? Here, sorry, where T or T of S is equal to, what is that? Transfer function of the system. Okay, transfer function of the system. Next is Pk. What is the Pk? Pk is nothing but forward path gain of kth forward path. Forward path gain of kth forward path. Okay, next is delta. So which means what here? Pk is nothing but forward path gain of kth forward path. Kth means, suppose in our signal flow graph, suppose I have 3 forward paths. So what is the k value here? Value 3 forward paths. Okay, so number of forward path we need to calculate here, which are exist in the signal flow graph. Any number, suppose say 5, 6, 10, depending on the design of the signal flow graph, right? Next next is a delta. This one is important. Delta is defined as 1 minus sum of individual loop gains, sum of loop gains plus, so you need to take alternative plus or minus. Okay, sum of gain products of of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops. Okay, this is another one. Okay, so 1 minus sum of individual loop gains first of all, then plus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops, minus alternative you need to take minus plus, then same sum of gain products of all possible, you need to check all possible combinations, all possible combinations of, next is what, three non-touching loops. Three non-touching loops. Okay, see here, delta, this point is important. Delta is 1 minus sum of individual loops first of all, right? Then if any non-touching loops exist in the signal flow graph, then we need to consider that also. All possible combinations we need to check. Sum of, see here, sum of gain products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops. Okay, then alternative negative positive you need to take, minus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of three non-touching loops, plus you need to take four non-touching loops, so on. Okay, 5 non-touching loops, 6 non-touching loops, if they are exist in the given signal flow graph. Okay, so this is so on. Got my point, right? This is the delta. Calculation of delta is, again I am repeating here, why? Because understanding of delta is very important. Delta is 1 minus sum of individual loops. In the signal flow graph, first of all check whether loops are exist in the graph or not. Okay, if it exists, check the individual loops. What do you mean by individual loops? Individual loop is nothing but a path is starting at a node, okay, terminates at the same node, and this particular node does not have common node to other loop. Okay, generally individual loop means self loop. Okay, you don't have any common node with other loops, simply, right? Then sum of gain products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops. Okay, then suppose I have two individual loops which don't have common node, then that is a one combination of non-touching, right? I have a three individual loops, for example. 3 are, suppose say for example, not touching each other, then that is another combination. 3 is combination. Okay, at that time we need to consider, suppose 1 2 3 for example. Okay, 1 2 combination is 1. Okay, two non-touching cases. Okay, 1 3 is another combination, 2 combinations, that is, right? If only 3 have, that is total 1 combination. Got my point? While solving the problem, we can go through it, you can understand easily, right? Now this is a delta. Now in the formula we have again delta k. Delta k is nothing but 1 minus delta for that part of the graph which is not touching kth forward path. See, I write this one, delta for that part of the graph which is not touching kth forward path. See here, delta k is another 1 minus delta for that part of the graph which is not touching kth forward path. Okay, so which means what? Suppose I have a path, for example. Okay, well, simply I can say I have a path. Okay, I have a path. Okay, if any loops are not touching with that particular path, that we need to consider as a delta k. Okay, right? So while solving the problem, anyway, we'll go through it. Okay, then you can able to understand easily, right? So this is the Mason's gain formula. I will repeat once again. Just will go upward. This is important. So most of the JNTU exams will ask this question also. Mason's gain formula. The Mason's gain formula, I will go through brief review again. The Mason's gain formula is used to determine transfer function of the system by using SFG. Okay. Now we have for transfer function, generally we have input and output. Okay. So Mason's gain formula states that the overall gain of the system, gain. Okay. So overall gain we are considering as a, see here, overall gain, and we are considering T is equal to transfer function, that is, okay, 1 by delta summation of k pk delta k, okay, which is summation of k equal to 1 to n, you can name it r k. Okay, right. Then the terms, T means transfer function of the system. Okay, transfer function of the system. Then pk means forward paths of kth forward path gain of the kth forward path. And anyway, delta 1 minus sum if individual loop exists in the graph, then sum of individual loops, loop gains, and sum of all possible gain products of all possible combination of 2 non-touching loops and 3 non-touching loops, 4 non-touching loops, so on, right? And the last one, delta k. Delta k is 1 minus delta previous value, delta for that part of the graph which is not touching kth forward path, right? This is the very important topic, Mason's gain formula, right? So in the next class we are going to discuss problems, okay, solutions, problems and solutions for Mason's gain formula. Okay, thank you.